anyway.
Do whatever you want, Ben.
I
No
will.
one cares.
I care. No, I can't lie to you, man.
No, you
I know
don't.
you
You
care,
don't care.
I know you care. It's another ridiculous night as my roundtable joins me, Ben, the ridiculous Riddick and Rants concerning the nerd culture of yesterday and today. Joining me at my roundtable for another best of episode is... Nikki's not here, so it
No,
kind of threw me off for a second.
No.
I almost said the always lovely, and then I wouldn't have had anyone to say after that because, let's face it, neither of you two are always lovely.
But what if it who you saw to be the loveliest in your eyes?
Yeah, I don't want to choose favorites that way. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch him. He's the gingerbeard man, Kenny Haynes.
Except you might catch me tonight.
I was actually going to make that exact same joke.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you did.
Why, James?
Because James, Kenny has the flu.
Oh no!
So the gingerbeard man runs a little slower now. So if you want to catch him, now's your chance.
I'm gonna talk like
Noted.
this all night.
I will make sure that it goes down.
I'm gonna sit here like this.
It's kind of like in Pokemon. You need to weaken him first in order to catch him.
Okay, I'll keep that.
And right now he's poisoned.
I take Mega Balls.
That's
Please,
fantastic,
no, just
Kenny.
move on from there. I don't want to think about it.
And over in Capelli's corner at this wonderful round table is Sir Capelli himself, James Capelli.
Hello, Internet.
Again.
I missed you.
Every 2 weeks now. I kind of miss doing the every week thing.
I do too.
Yeah.
So does Nikki, but she's not here. So that actually means
But
Nikki.
she's gonna vote, so it's 3 out of 3 instead of 4
Yeah.
out of 4.
But
Exactly.
none of us made the decision to do that. So. Oh wait a second.
It's like we could go back. Nikki and I are talking about things. We're gonna fix it. Don't worry. Don't worry,
Okay.
everyone.
All right.
Fix it.
So tonight we're going to talk about the best of 2014, guys. Last year we kind of split this up into 4 episodes, but I thought that might be a little intense, like camping. So
I thought it was too stupid, but no, you proved me correct.
Okay.
What?
I don't know what he said because I was talking when he started talking.
And moving on.
Exactly. So we're going to be talking about the best TV, the best movies, and the best video games of 2014. Let's go ahead and start with the best of television. James, we're going to talk about the top 3 today. We're going to each say our third favorite, then we're each going to say our second favorite, then we're each going to say our first favorite. We might talk a little bit in between. You know how this usually goes. James, what is number 3 on the
My number
list?
3 is a cheat, because it's not a television show. It's the only cheat on my list, but it is a show that was dear and near to me until it ended.
Dear and
You're alive. It's not television, but it's really good. Even though I thought the final season was the weakest of the 4, still awesome.
It was nicely wrapped up.
I haven't finished
There's
it.
still questions, but they're not done with the universe, so I can't be too upset about that.
Yeah. What is it? Stories from We're Alive?
Yes, which I'm sure will be past, present, and future timeline stories from where the show ended.
I haven't finished it yet.
You need to.
It wraps
Oh,
up
I
nicely.
know.
It does.
That's good.
That show is very good.
I'm excited to listen to it.
I can
Since
tell.
He hasn't seen it. We can't talk about it too much more. So there.
Well, I haven't seen it, James.
I've never seen
Fair
it,
enough, Ben. Fair enough.
which is surprising since we're talking about TV shows.
This is true.
I said it was a cheat.
He did say it was a cheat.
Is it a cheat or just an all-out redirection of subject?
Kenny, what was your number 3?
My number 3 has to be the current season of Homeland.
I've never watched that. So let me rephrase that. I've watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, could not get into it, stopped watching it.
It is one of the most amazing shows you can ever watch, and this season, I think, is by far the best season. We are
Best.
rewind to the beginning of the season, and we start out in Pakistan in the embassy, and it just goes from there, and all the terrorist hijinks that can happen in Pakistan.
The terrorist hijinks. Oh my god!
It truly, it's so intense. It's so
like camping.
Camping.
Shut up.
It always leaves you on a cliffhanger, wanting more. It's a ridiculously good TV show.
Hey.
Anybody that has access to it needs to watch it.
All right.
Neither of you have seen it. Too bad.
I haven't. I have not. So for my number 3, I'm actually going to have been really enjoying this season of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been pretty good. I was very skeptical about them putting Elsa in, months after the movie came out.
Yeah.
But no, it turned out to be really interesting. I really like what they're doing with some of the characters, and yeah, I love the character of Rumpelstiltskin. He's easily my favorite character in that show.
I haven't finished this season, but so far it's been pretty good.
Just the last episode of the mid-season finale, Kenny. You feel sad so many times. So many times. It happens so many times.
So many times?
I wasn't the pilot of that show, but I want to start watching it.
I find it really good. I think it's a great replacement to when they tried to do Fables. What, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Oh, I guess 4 years ago at this point.
They tried to make Fables a TV show?
Yeah, I think it was a sci-fi show.
Okay.
But no one bought into it, and then Disney decided to try Once Upon a Time, and I mean it's.
And now it's all history.
It's a similar concept. Fairy tale people are in normal world.
Right.
So, if you like Fables, I recommend Once Upon a Time.
I do love Fables.
Well, then I recommend Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
He means the TV show Fables.
Oh, nobody liked that.
Oh, you meant the video game Fables?
No.
Okay.
No.
James! Number 2.
Number 2. My number 2 for this season this year is going to be Archer.
Archer.
I loved what they did with the show for the first few seasons, and then this season they've taken it in a completely new direction, and they do it so well.
I learned something interesting about Archer, James.
What's that, Ben?
You know that first episode of Archer? There is an unaired alternate first episode where instead of Archer being a human being, Archer is a velociraptor. And all of his lines are velociraptor noises.
Where can we see this?
I saw it on Today I Learned subreddit, so I'd have to go find that link again. But yeah.
Because that sounds like something that everybody needs to watch.
It does sound like something that everybody needs to watch.
Yeah, found it.
Found it?
Yep. I am watching this when we're done.
Oh my god. I think I'm going to be doing that too. If you can send that link around, maybe you can put that link up for future listeners.
I think that I can do that. I'll put the link up for our listeners.
I think that would be awesome, because that's definitely a must watch.
So James, how would you sell Archer? How would you get people to watch it?
It's everything you love about James Bond, but throw in the best damn comedy you could ever imagine.
That's true. Do you want fans, James? Because that's how you get fans.
Like ceiling fans?
Yes, ceiling fans.
How many ceiling fans do you really need? I mean, just one per room, right?
Yeah.
Which is still plural, which is the term he used, Kenny.
But
unless you live in a one-room house.
Otherwise known as a studio.
Ah.
That's what some of those people call those.
Or shanty.
Shanties? I think they call them shanties.
Yeah.
Shanty was the name
Europe,
of the little...
They call them shanties.
Well, when we move over there, we'll be sure to give you a call every time we have a grammar mix-up.
You're moving to Europe, James?
How many fans do you think you would need in a lean-to? Do you think you
At
would need
least
any fans?
at least 2,
At least 2? One for each end, right?
so you can lean on them.
You're right. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense.
You know the song "Lean on Me"?
Yeah.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'm sorry, I'm on medication. So
I was going to let you keep going.
Yeah. I was going to stop and I was like, no, he's having fun.
So James Bond meets comedy meets cartoon awesomeness.
Yeah.
Same voice as the guy in Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
Also.
Correct.
Are they the same writers? I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. Well, if you like the voice of the guy in Bob's Burgers, you will like the voice in Archer.
Or will you?
They're the exact same thing.
They are. Kenny.
Ben.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is a new series, and it is a Netflix exclusive series.
Oh, a Netflix exclusive.
Yes.
Ooh.
I don't know if too many people have watched this, and it's funny that you make that noise because it's called BoJack Horseman.
Oh, I saw that.
Horseman is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
What is BoJack Horseman about, Kenny?
So it is about it is set in a world where animals and humans both talk and interact. Animals have human bodies. Some animals don't have human bodies, and they still just talk. Like they all stand on their hind legs and stuff and walk around like humans.
Okay, I have to watch this.
and BoJack Horseman is a washed up sitcom star from the 90s, maybe very, very similar to Bob Saget. And it's all about him trying to put his life together years and years, because now it's in the 2000s. He hasn't been on TV in over a decade, and he's just living off of that money, not doing anything, wallowing in himself. And he's trying to write a biography about himself. He's trying to write a book. So it's a pretty good or an art, whatever. But it's an amazing show, which I think draws many parallels to Bob Saget, which is even more funny. It's definitely a good watch. Definitely have to get through the first episode or 2 to get into it. But once you do, you're hooked.
Awesome. My number 2, and I have to say that this was a huge competition between my number 2 and number 1, but the other one beat it. My number 2 has got to be The Flash. New show this year, and it is a wonderful, wonderful take on The Flash. I think the guy who plays The Flash, Grant Gustin, is a really good Flash. I think he's a terrible narrator for the beginning of the show, but I think
nobody remembers that.
Yeah. The characters and just so many Easter eggs for DC fans in that show that it's just ridiculous. And it's just a really enjoyable show to watch. Have either of you guys been watching The Flash?
Man,
yes,
I had time
religiously. Yes, that show is absolutely amazing. I think how good they've been doing with superhero movies lately, they've been doing 10 times better with the TV shows. I think if you had to pick between pick one genre, not genre, but one source of entertainment to go with, superhero-wise, you'd have to pick TV. The way that these new shows are coming out it's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And The Flash is is one of the best so far.
Yeah, no, I have to agree, but I think it's because they're based on comic books. Comic books are serialized, and that TV shows are the best way to give you the comic book feel. I think I can't wait to see the Netflix ones. One that didn't, a show that didn't make it onto my list, but I have really enjoyed, and I'm bummed that it's not getting brought on for a second season, is Constantine.
I haven't seen that.
That it's a really enjoyable show, and again, the character is awesome, and the guy who plays Constantine is the guy who played Edward Kenway in Black Flag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. But yeah, Flash is definitely number 2. James, have you watched any of The Flash?
No. I'm going to start watching TV now that I'm done with school.
Gotcha.
And I got a job, so.
Ooh, yay.
Fancy smanchy job.
Fancy schmancy job.
Indeed.
James, number 1.
My number 1 show of this year is, hands down, Game of Thrones. It is the only show that when it's out and like on air, I keep up with it every single week. Since my other favorite shows have ended. But yeah, I can't get enough of it. After like having just finished the books as well and just playing through episode 1 of the game, I love the world that it's in. It's building up to the magic slowly and everything, so it's just great. And the characters are rock solid in my opinion. So
the magic.
Yes.
Spoilers, James. Spoilers.
In a fantasy show? God forbid.
I didn't know there's going to be magic in a show that had dragons.
I'm sorry I brushed your bubble, Kenny. Pretend I didn't say anything.
I didn't know there would be games in the show, but...
No thrones, surprisingly. But
yeah, I know.
A lot of games.
A lot of games.
A lot of games. Kenny, how about your number 1?
Before we get to my number 1, I'm going to go through a couple honorable mentions. Just quickly.
I didn't even get my 1.
Ooh, well, whatever. First one has already been mentioned, which is The Flash. Number 2 honorable mentions would be Gotham, another amazing show.
Oh, I completely forgot about Gotham.
Another one is going to be, and they're all superheroes. Honorable mention is this season of The Arrow. Again, absolutely amazing. But my number 1 show would have to be this season of The League. Either of you watch The League?
I've seen it on Netflix, and I've been so tempted to actually sit through and watch, but I have not watched any of The League.
Man, The League, again, another show that is a must-watch. It's an FXX show. It's about a group of guys they're in a fantasy football league, but it's not. It's about the fantasy football league, but it's more just about their lives. And it's absolutely hilarious. One of the best comedies you'll ever find. If you just like ridiculousness in behavior and things that happen, it's
Kenny,
another must-watch show.
I wish fan of ridiculous things on this show.
I wish the shows that I'm mentioning you guys have watched too, so you can collaborate and we can talk about it. But it sucks that I can't talk about any of these shows.
We couldn't really talk about James's number 1 show because, God forbid, we accidentally spoil something. That would be horrendous.
Yeah, well, that I haven't seen it, so. But yeah, The League, again, an awesome show. You can catch it on Netflix. The first few seasons. This current season's still on Hulu. But yeah, another awesome show to watch.
All right. My number 1 show, and I do have to say I have really enjoyed Gotham, and I'm sorry that it didn't make my top 3 list, but my number 1 show for this year has got to be this season of Arrow. Just again, the mid-season finale was epic, so epic, and the fact that
Yes, it was.
just the fact that they've introduced my favorite villain of all time into that show.
Not the most dangerous, but at least Ben's favorite.
Ra's al Ghul being in the show is just fantastic, and the 2-episode crossover with the Flash and Arrow, that week was just absolutely wonderful, and just seeing how much this character has grown, and then seeing how the people that interact with him have grown has just been a treat.
A treat.
A treat.
Well, I love, for those people that know the ending of this mid-season finale, have you seen the poster for the second half of the season?
So I saw Stephen Amell tweeted something that was a fan-made picture. It's not the official poster.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah. But I saw that, and that was my reaction too.
The green poster?
Yeah, with the arrow.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was official.
No, it's not official. That was fan-made.
No. Well, it's still gonna happen. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, everyone knows that that's still going to happen.
Obviously.
Yeah, totally obvious. I'm surprised that none of us mentioned Sherlock.
Oh, that's right. That was the beginning of the year, wasn't it? Sherlock was really good.
About a year.
Wow.
Is there any word on when season 4 starts?
No.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
The last episode of season 3 was not my favorite.
Yeah, but it was way too rushed.
Yeah.
But episode 2 was pretty dang good.
Yeah. Another fantastic show. Each episode is a movie length.
Yeah.
So I do highly recommend watching that show to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to movies, guys? A lot of movies came out this year. I was actually looking at the list of releases that came out this year, and a bunch of things. So many good ones, and I'm kind of bummed that I won't be able to say all the movies that I loved.
Yep. I'm sure we'll say them.
Yeah.
As well.
James.
Yes.
I think we're gonna ask Kenny his number 3 first.
I think it's a good idea, Ben.
Kenny, what was your number 3 favorite movie?
Oh, I'm caught off guard. I would have to say the Lego Movie.
I am so glad you said the Lego Movie because that is one of the ones that I cut off of my list.
It is actually I only just watched it yesterday because
you only just watched it yesterday?
Well, I never got a chance to see it in theaters, and I was homesick yesterday with the flu, and it's on HBO now.
Oh, is it?
So I was like, yeah. So I was finally like, oh, awesome! I get to watch it, watch through it, and it was absolutely amazing. I should have seen that movie in theaters.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, it was like, not only was it funny, like a well-crafted movie, but I don't know. I guess it's just the emotional side of me. But I really like how they tied together the entire story. Was for spoil? Should I do spoiler?
I mean, I think.
Okay.
I think
if you haven't seen the Lego Movie and you don't want it to be spoiled for you, skip ahead about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds later, still talking about it. So that the entire movie was based off of this kid and his father, and this struggle with the father of not touching what is clearly toys, and the father finally recognizing, I'm restricting a kid from playing with toys. Like, I liked how you evolved into that you didn't know that at the beginning, and it took this like lighthearted movie and added a little bit of sentiment to it, and it was I think it was great. Absolutely
30 seconds up.
And then also the voice actors
Yeah,
that they
it's all
got
really
for this
good.
movie. Like,
So many good ones.
so like I don't know how like, and if you look at the list of executive producers, and there's like 10 of them because you needed all that money for all these amazing voice actors. Like Will Ferrell,
Mm-hmm.
voice actor and in person. Morgan Freeman.
Freaking
Alison
Liam
Brie,
Neeson was
Liam
probably my
Neeson,
favorite character
Liam
in that.
Neeson
Hey,
as
buddy.
Batman. That's freaking
Liam Neeson wasn't
No,
Batman.
Liam
hilarious.
Neeson
Oh
was not Batman.
no, I'm
He's the cop.
sorry.
Yeah, he was
Right,
the
as the
good
cop.
cop, bad cop. Fun
right.
fact about that movie: did you know that Liam Neeson insisted on saying his lines all together rather than splitting them up as two different characters, so that he could act it better? So
Awesome.
Liam Neeson is sitting in a freaking sound room, going, "Hey, buddy, I will kill you." Going back and forth like that is just
That is awesome. That's hilarious. 'Cause, and you know what? After you saying that, I can kind of see that because the bipolarness of that character was done really well.
Spot on,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and to know that's how he did it that's pretty cool. But yeah, all those awesome voice actors for that movie. It was
Which is cool because, like,
absolutely
typically
phenomenal.
when you get like those, a whole like collaboration of famous actors being put into a kids movie, it almost always sucks.
Yeah.
Almost always sucks. So it's the fact that it was not just good but brilliant was.
I honestly, watching that movie though, I don't think anyone believes that movie was made for the kids.
Good point.
But if you're gonna go down that road, is any kid movie or TV show 100% made for kids?
No,
Yeah,
but
there's
I
a
do
couple,
think that the
but
Lego movie was more appealing to the nostalgic adult.
it goes
than
both
it did.
ways. It goes both ways. It's I mean it's to take in both audiences. It's the reason why when you go back now and watch the TV shows that you watched as a kid, like the Rugrats and Our Real Monsters and all of these other older shows, that you sit there and you watch it and you have a completely different perspective and go, this is a hilarious show for an adult. I mean, have you watched the Rugrats lately? Like, that show is absolutely hilarious. Like, because you're looking at it on a whole different level and you're looking at the characters and who they are and knowing so much more about life. It's ridiculous. It's an hilarious show.
How many times are we going to say ridiculous this episode? That's the real
It's all been
question
Kenny.
fans
It's all
are
been
asking.
Kenny. The drugs are getting to him, is what it is.
James, movie number 3 for you.
My third favorite this year was Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Captain America: Winter Soldier. I'm glad you said that one because that was another one that got cut from my list.
Man, that was just the best. That was my favorite solo superhero movie ever. Like the pacing of it, the bits of like the small amount of humor that it had peppered out. The fact that they took Black Widow, who I thought from the Avengers was a really bland character, and put a lot of depth to her. They had the dynamic between her and Captain America be great, which a lot of these blockbuster films, when you get two main, opposing gender characters together, it's a romantic interest, but you never felt that at all during the movie. And the action was just awesome. Just everything about it was phenomenal.
So you don't like it when the guy doesn't get you like it when the guy doesn't get the girl or the girl doesn't get the guy? You're a dick,
I like it when
James.
there's actual purpose behind it, not just like, oh, we lived through an apocalypse together. You want to just have babies and shit?
Yeah,
I understand
no
exactly
reason.
what you're saying.
No reason why living through an apocalypse would bring two people close together.
No, but I mean, there's a point where bringing in a
I understand.
He's just being
I'm
a dick.
teasing.
No, I really enjoyed that one too. There were two things that really bugged me about that movie though, and it was like one of the things I had already known, but I feel like they spoiled it in the previews by showing who the Winter Soldier was.
Yeah.
Which really bummed me out. Again, I'd read the Winter Soldier comic, so I knew that character was going to be making a resurgence, but it angered me. And then the other thing is, I saw the episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Before I saw the movie, and they tied in. There was a huge plot element that happens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or that happens in Captain America that affects Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it just completely. I didn't know it was going to happen in The Winter Soldier, so I was kind of surprised that the movie had been spoiled for me, and it was a real big bummer.
How much time did they wait to put that in the TV show?
It was the episode the week after the TV show or the movie came out. So the movie came out Friday.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. I mean, I like that they keep tying in the movies to the show. I think that's great, but at the same time, it pisses me off. So that was my one gripe with Captain America. But the movie itself was really great.
Yes, I loved it.
And if Chris Evans asked me if anybody wanted to get off at this floor, I probably would have gotten off. Just saying.
Well, no, you don't think you can beat up Captain America?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I'd just get off the elevator.
Right. Yeah.
Let him beat the shit out of everyone else. I think that sounds like a great idea. Oh, is it my turn? No.
Yes. It is your turn.
It is my turn. We're at number 3?
Still. Yeah, 3rd for you.
Cool. Number 3 for me. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I'm glad you said it, because that was one I was struggling putting on my list.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 I thought was absolutely phenomenal. The big plot twist, or the big thing that happened at the end of the movie that I wanted. And I thought it was an even better kind of view of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man and juggling his responsibilities as Spider-Man and, being Peter Parker.
Right.
I think overall the movie was great. I was kind of hesitant about Jamie Foxx being Electro because I'm not a huge Electro or Jamie Foxx fan.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent though.
But yeah, no, he did great, and he wasn't in the movie a whole lot, which made it even better. Like the movie was very much a Peter Parker trying to figure out how the hell he's doing the whole Spider-Man thing, and then it gets sad, and then it gets happy again. So, Kenny, did you see Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No.
Oh.
I haven't seen the Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Oh.
I didn't see the first one either. I just went straight into the second one.
See, there you go, Kenny. You can do what James did.
There you go. I can do what James did.
Number 2, Kenny. What is number 2 for you?
Oh, number 2 for me would have to be Anchorman 2.
You're just Will Ferrell movies.
I can't help but like perfection.
Is that what you call crying adult baby mans?
That is what, when a crying adult baby man can make me laugh hysterically for 2 hours. Yep, that's what I call it, because that's what he makes me do in almost everything I see him in. I know Will Ferrell is like a hot button for some people. Some people like just really don't like him. It's either love or hate with that guy, but I will always defend that man because he is so funny.
I wouldn't say I hate him. I just will never see it. I really just don't like watching things with him in it.
Well, I'm with you, Kenny. I thought Anchorman 2 was hilarious.
I mean, you should see Eastbound and Down. I'm sorry, that's a TV show. I should have mentioned it as well. But yeah, no, Anchorman 2 was absolutely amazing. It took the wackiness and the fun parts of the first movie and built on them. And it was just, I don't know, again, laughed my way and through that entire movie.
That's good.
I thought it was good, and then the last 10 minutes happened, and I'm like, no, this movie's bumped up from good to really good.
Yeah.
So
yes,
good for an actor.
you put that so eloquently, James.
Yeah.
Put it in terms of making sure you can understand, Kenny.
Yeah.
The drug.
I mean everybody expects the fight scene
Yeah.
because you had the fight scene in the first movie.
First one.
The fight scene in the second movie was incredible. Way over the top. I mean,
So many cameos.
so many. And I don't know if you just like it's hard to pin down what makes it so good. It just is.
I saw it with my brother, and we were in a nearly empty theater. It's like that entire scene. We were just like, "Don't you see that guy? Don't you see that guy in the corner?" Just fantastic.
I mean that the beautiful relationship with the shark.
Ah, yes, the beautiful relationship with the shark. I remember.
Now you know how it feels to be left out.
But I mean, it was a beautifully done movie, and I mean, bravo, another successful fair movie.
James, what was movie number 2 for you?
For me, my second favorite movie of the year was Gone Girl.
Oh, I didn't see
Either of you
that.
guys go see that?
Gone Girl.
Nope.
It's one of the best
I
suspense
haven't
movies
seen
I've
it.
ever seen. One of the best suspense movies I have ever
Actually,
seen.
Kenny, you acted out the movie perfectly.
I did right there.
Yeah.
I felt so suspenseful. I'm like, I don't know what I'm seeing,
Gone
but I
Girl.
think it terrifies me.
I didn't see it either, but my mother-in-law saw it, and she was telling me how good it was.
Both of you would like it.
All right.
It's excellent. It's just superbly done. There are like 3 or 4 points in that movie at which I'm like, I think the movie's about to end, but it wasn't the end of the movie. It was just like the next chapter, which is appropriate since it's based on the book, but just really, really good. Acting was excellent.
Who was
so
in it?
good. Damn, who is the main character? Who's the main actor?
I think they
I'm
had.
gonna feel really super proud when I start caught in my head. Ben Affleck.
Was Steve Carell in that movie?
No. Neil Patrick Harris was.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking of.
And Tyler Perry, which I was hesitant about, but he actually did really well. And I'd never heard of the main actress, Rosamund Pike. Never heard of her before.
I think she's in one of those Jane Austen movies or shows, something like that. Pride and Prejudice. She's in Pride and Prejudice.
Was she?
Yeah, she's Jane Bennett. There we go.
Saw Pride and Prejudice. Never had the luxury.
Yeah, you're so fucking lucky, Kenny.
I know.
So freaking lucky.
I
So that's my number 2.
believe that.
Um,
Ben,
yeah,
what's your
yeah,
number
yeah. It's my turn again. Okay. Number 2. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and say number 2 is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Good choice.
Freaking love.
Way to bite that bullet, Ben.
Yeah. Well, I was really having a large internal debate about what number 1 was.
No, I'm pretty sure your number 1 is gonna be the correct number 1, and it's
Yeah.
probably
so too. I think we
also.
might all have the same number 1.
I really hope we do all have the same number 1.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Number 2 is definitely X-Men: Days of Future Past. I really, really loved the way that they fixed X-Men: Last Stand.
Fixed? You mean erased?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the only real possible way to fix that movie. So, yeah, no, they fixed the Last Stand, and again, it's just freaking James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. They are amazing as Xavier
I still
and
haven't seen
Magneto.
that movie.
What?
I still haven't seen Days of Future Past. Like, I hated First Class,
What?
but I really want to see this one. I really do want
Oh
to see it.
man,
I actually think I'd like
you
it.
need to see it.
Well,
I really haven't liked the next one movie yet.
You know, before this year, First Class was my favorite Superman or superhero movie of all time. It was also my favorite Superman movie of all time because Superman.
That's how good it was.
Yeah. But yeah, no, huge fan of Days of Future Past, and let's see, what's number one, Kenny?
So, what I believe is all three of our number ones, and rightfully should be. I know you were talking about Jamie Foxx earlier. The new Annie they just made.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
The new Annie they just made is absolutely the number one movie of 2014. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you.
No, it would have to be.
No, Kenny, really, let me tell you.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Absolutely. Guardians of the Galaxy.
All of our number ones. That movie, I mean, again, they're just nailing these superhero movies. And some people will say that they've just figured out the formula to do these movies and TV shows in. But I think they should stick with it because it's awesome. I mean, they're nailing it on the head. They're getting, I mean, the stories are great. The character development's good enough in some movies, great in others. The mix between action and comedy is what you would want out of a superhero movie like this. Like, it's just
they've gotten me interested in origin stories in general because, you know, that's one of the things that I've hated about a lot of superhero movies is that they always do the freaking origin story. And I don't feel that it's necessary, but they've been doing it really, really well.
Well, I mean, his origin story in this one took all of like 5 minutes to do.
Well,
the whole movie's an origin story.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is for the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not just an origin story for Star-Lord. I'm really excited to see where they go with it.
I think it'll branch out and keep creating great movies. It's not.
That's another one that had a really good cast.
Change, great cast. But as long as they don't change what they're doing, and that's the thing. I think a lot of these, I don't know if it's directors or whoever it is that get hung up on it, where like, we created this great movie, now we have to find a new way to make the next one we create even better. When we're talking about in the same genre, the same series, the same people. Like, if you created this origin story and it was loved by so many people, just keep creating that new story. When they made the comic books, they didn't frickin' try and outdo each last issue. Some issues just built off of the last one. And that's what we need. That's what we want. We want a storyline. We want awesome characters. We want you to make that first movie with awesome characters, great dialogue, and then just keep building on that storyline.
All right, I'm gonna put this on VHS and send it to Marvel for you, Kenny, so they can have that.
You have to pay attention because
on VHS. Yes.
I mean, and it's great. Whatever, Ben.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay, it's just, but
the music is also one of the things that made that movie phenomenal.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You really felt like an '80s guy in a alien setting.
I'm sorry, they picked some awesome songs for that.
You got the soundtrack?
Whenever,
they gave it the soundtrack for free a month or so ago.
Anything that adds in Bee Gees, it's all right by me.
And you know what else I really liked? I really liked the soundtrack.
Did you?
I'm just going to throw that out there. I think the soundtrack was really good. Yeah,
it was good.
The
good soundtrack.
It was great. The music was
absolutely.
awesome.
You know, I was trying to,
music
before
was
I
so
was interrupted, name a specific song, but yeah, okay. What was your number one?
You know what will cheer you up?
James?
You know what will cheer you up, Kenny? Just think about how good the music was in that movie. That'll cheer you up. I already just got really excited. Guardians of the Galaxy, best movie of the year.
Absolutely. Guardians of the Galaxy, best movie of the year, and my new favorite superhero movie of all time.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Of all time.
Of all time.
It's a lot. That's a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
It's like all of it, even.
Yeah. Not just some of it, all of it.
All of it, yeah.
Maybe even more.
Maybe even more. Yeah. Let's not forget about that extra time.
Like they add at the end of soccer games?
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what I was referencing, Kenny. Shall we talk about video games?
I suppose I can do that.
Well, I guess.
So, Kenny, Game of the Year, was it, in fact, Destiny?
In a category, yes, it was.
Is Destiny in your top 3?
I would still have to say yes.
So one of the top 3 games that you're going to mention is Destiny.
Yeah. Begrudgingly.
That
Just remember at the beginning of
didn't play enough games this year.
So Kenny, what was your number 3?
Number 3 would be Destiny.
Surprise, surprise!
Now, remember when we made those guesses, the game was not out yet. And
I know.
Let me finish. And if they
that's why they're
had
predictions.
created that game to the way it should have been, and the way that it was advertised, even at E3, it would have been Game of the Year. So that is what I'm going to stand behind by why I said that was going to be Game of the Year, not because of what actually
Except you're still putting it in your top.
But what it should have been, and me still playing it has nothing to do with why I chose it as Game of the Year. So, I know, that's what James said. But that is why I picked it for Game of the Year when we picked it, because of what it was advertised to be, not what it eventually ended up being.
So what do you like about the game, Kenny?
I still think it's a great shooter. The multiplayer in the game is still really good. It gives you something a little bit different than the Call of Duties and the Battlefields. It brings you back to what Halo was for multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the engine is great, and that there are building blocks there that can create an amazing game. I just think that it was butchered, and you can tell by playing that game that it was butchered. That the Game of the Year was there and is hiding somewhere in that programming, but they just tore it apart.
It's hiding in all the DLC that's going to come out.
No, see, it's not even.
It's hiding in the next game that's going to come out.
Not even. No, they've gotten rid of.
Then where is it, Kenny? Because we're plumb out of ideas.
Well, do you guys want to list 4 or 5 more places, or do you want me to tell you? They've gotten rid of it forever. From the speculations of the leaks that came out early on to the articles that have been written by game testers when they tested the game over a year ago, and what the story was then to where it is now, is completely changed. Elements that have been hinted that were going to be added into the game are not in the game, and there's really no way, unless they completely overhaul the game in the new one they release, that they can fix. Like, it has to massively change. The game number 2 has to be completely different to fix this world.
For example, my hunter cannot have a pet tiger, like was advertised. Just saying.
You cannot trade items between players, which was hinted at E3. You can't gamble, which we don't know what that meant, but which was also advertised or hinted at E3.
Yeah, the reason that is speculated to have been taken out is because it bumped up their T rating to an M rating because of gambling.
trading wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they also said bumped up there.
So, again,
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Oh yeah, I know. But all these things that would have made this game, and I watched a video. I forget whose YouTube channel it was on, but he had a very, very good point with this game. Is that this game was built and developed with perfection in mind, and broken back down to fit into a mediocre gaming world.
Mm.
Because you could have created a game that would have been much more complex and mature, which wouldn't have brought in the younger audience because it would have been too complicated for younger teenagers to play, but it would have been an amazing game. So to dumb it down, make everybody on a more even playing field in the game, which they did, making it a simple, repetitive storyline where you're doing the same things over and over again, brought in a larger, younger audience, and they were able to sell many more games that way.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it completely destroyed the game itself and what it could have been. And unfortunately, we're still waiting for the next innovation in first-person shooter games.
I honestly think... Oh, sorry, go ahead, James.
I'm still sticking to my guns and blaming Activision for most of it.
Yeah, me too. I am blaming the fact that they wanted that T rating so bad.
Yeah.
Because if Bungie had been able to make an M-rated game,
which they did with Halo, so that's still weird.
Yeah,
no,
but Activision wasn't their publisher then.
Well, that and a game like Halo, Halo was an innovation of its time. Nobody knew, like, that kind of game was not the industry that it is now. So they made it because they're like, well, yeah, this new type of game, we'll see how it does. But now, because everybody knows that it's going to sell so well, they want to monetize that as much as they can, which gives them T rating to sell it to younger audiences because they know it's going to sell.
Which is
unfortunately, the money that is there today is holding back the innovation that is here today.
Mm-hmm. I agree. James?
That was my number 3 pick.
James, number 3 for you.
My number 3 is going to be Bravely Default.
Bravely Default.
I waited like 8 months after the game came out. I got it when it came out and just didn't play it for like 8 months for whatever reason. Once I started getting into it, I fell in love with this game. The combat is wonderful. The voice acting and the characters are phenomenal. And the class system is really, really well done. So, I mean, it feels like... It feels like Square Enix make really great RPGs when they're not Final Fantasy anymore. And this is a great example of it. So, I mean, if you love RPGs and you kind of want that old Final Fantasy feel back, this is the game to get for you.
Mm-hmm.
That feel back?
Feel back.
Feel back. while we sit and pray that Final Fantasy 15 is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not holding my breath.
I think it's got a shot. It's got a shot to be really good. So we'll see.
So my number 3, and I'm kind of my number 3 is probably The Wolf Among Us. It was Telltale's Fables game, and it's a prequel to what happens in issue 1 of Fables, but there's so much lore to Fables that I can't get enough of it. So I absolutely love playing Telltale's games, and I am one that I wait for the entire season to be out before I go and play it, and it is such a good game, and such a good story. I wish those games ran a little better though. That's my only complaint about those games. But
the characters are slow.
Yeah, very slow. I could outrun them. Kenny, you could outrun them, even in your weakened state.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Well, he
fun.
is the gingerbeard man.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
true.
so my running is faster than normal, so me in my weakened state would put me at normal for everyone else.
I guess that's fair.
But I digress. Continue.
It's a really good game, and I very much recommend any of those Telltale games
Do you know
to
if
people.
they have any plans to make season 2 of Wolf Among Us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
I
I said
know.
yes or no to it. Yes or no to it.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing their games on Vita. Like I think those are really great mobile games. To kind of just sit in bed and play a bit before going to sleep. So if you have a handheld, I really very, very highly recommend that. As much as I recommend The Walking Dead. I didn't play The Walking Dead Season 2, but Season 1 was great. And I can't wait to play Game of Thrones and Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands, man. Can't wait to play that.
Yeah, I have it on my wishlist on Steam. I hope it goes on sale during the holiday sale event they got going on.
Yeah?
We'll see.
I'll
see.
keep my fingers crossed for you, James.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
I won't.
Screw you, Kenny.
Kenny's an asshole.
I hope you stay sick with the flu.
Kenny,
Ben.
number 2.
Wait, did you both just do your number 3s?
Yeah, because you took forever.
Hey,
That's
you
like
let
our
me.
hot button is like, if you want us to talk about something for a long time, just ask Kenny to talk about Destiny, and he'll go. Like, Kenny's got opinions.
I know.
He's got
I
the
think
opinions.
all of us could talk about Destiny for a really long time, though.
We could.
Kenny just likes to do it the most.
My number 2 would have to be, and even though it just came out and I'm still in the middle of playing it, Dragon Age.
It is really fun.
Even
I'm
though
really
even though
enjoying
I'm pissed off at it right now.
Have you played since?
No. No. Mainly because I've been sick and I haven't, like, that game you really do need to concentrate playing.
So James, let me lay this out for you. I'm playing Dragon Age. I get home, I start playing, and Kenny's at this one part, and from the beginning of me playing, pretty much, I jump into party chat, and Kenny's just like, Ben, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm out of healing potions, and I'm about to get to this boss fight, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
And everyone in my party was at quarter health.
So he's like, I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. And I probably played for what, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Until
No, like, I wasn't at that point then.
Oh, okay.
I played for about an hour, a total.
Okay.
Before
About 45 minutes to an hour into playtime, Kenny's just like, I'm just gonna have to stop and reload my save. It just sucks that my save is about an hour and a half ago.
No, I had plenty of saves after that, but the save an hour and a half ago is what I had to go to revert all the stupid things that I did throughout the rest of the game. Yeah. So I lost about an hour and a half. I've got to redo, which probably won't take me an hour and a half now that I know exactly what to do. I can skip all the cutscenes. So I could probably finish it in about 30 minutes now, but still, I was very aggravated. Anybody out there that if you decide to choose the Templars, let's just say when you're defending the Great Hall, don't pick up the potions that you can pick up there until the final boss fight. Just a suggestion. Don't pick them up when you first see them and go, oh, I haven't seen one of these in an hour. I need this, and then heal your people? No. Wait until the final boss scene and then pick it up. It'll work a lot more smoothly for you.
It'll be more in your favor.
Yes, it will. But other than that, the game is beautiful. Like, it's not stunning the way that, like, Skyrim games are or other games. But the story is put together so well. The activities, the side missions, and all the stuff that you probably don't have to do are still fun to play. There's so many things in that game.
I've been sitting in the hinterlands for so long, just playing those
that's what I
freaking
did.
missions.
I downloaded the game the first day, and because I was playing it, it took a long time to download, so I couldn't actually continue the story. And I was like, screw this, I don't want to wait for it to download completely. So I played maybe for like 5 hours, 6 hours in just that little area, doing all the side mission stuff, went to bed, let the game download, and then continued the storyline. Like, it's a really fun game.
It is. It is. And it has multiplayer, which we have yet to try out. But
Yes.
since I enjoyed Mass
report
Effect
back.
3 multiplayer so much, I'm sure I'll enjoy the Dragon Age multiplayer. James,
Yeah.
number 2.
My number 2 game of the year is going to be Transistor.
I didn't play that.
Oh my god. It's some of the most fun gameplay.
That was the
in
sequel to
any action
Bastion,
game.
right?
Not a sequel, but made by the same people.
Oh, okay.
And if you played and enjoyed Bastion, they take the very similar gameplay where it's like you got a bunch of different weapons that you can take, but instead you can take 4 at a time, and you can just change them up whenever you want, and you can make them an active ability, make it a passive ability, or you can enhance one of your other abilities with it. So you end up getting 16 abilities, so to speak. You start off with a simple sword slash, but you can get your dash move and enhance it to make you just attack really fast and all sorts of crazy things like that. And the more you use them in each slot, they unlock backgrounds to the characters in the game. That's how you get the story, is by playing the game in new and creative ways, which I thought was just brilliant. The atmosphere is breathtaking. The art style is just all of it. It's so good. But the music, similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, is what really makes this game shine for me. The music is the last thing to make the atmosphere come full circle and just make it emotional. If an indie game can be really fun to play and then get that emotional level there as well, that's pretty much just going to be my favorite sort of thing.
The game
So,
makes
Transistor-
James cry. That's where it puts him over the edge.
I've only cried at 2 video games in my life. This is not one of them. But those games are some of my favorites as well. So I mean, it probably plays by 5 or 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get it nowadays, it's probably real cheap. Steam sale, you probably get it for a few bucks, which is a steal.
Yeah.
And if you want to wait even longer, it's probably going to eventually be on the Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle.
So that's my number 2.
Number 2. All right. James, my number 2 is a tie, and I can't decide which one I want to make number 2.
Tell you what, Ben, why don't you just go both in a row, and then we'll go to Kenny for his number 1.
One of them will probably be my number 1.
So my number 1 I have set. It's my number 2 that's between 2 games.
But you've already chosen number 3.
No, I know, but
I know. I understand, Ben. I was the same way for a few things. Yeah, you have one that'll definitely fit into number 3 slot. It deserves the number 3. One that definitely deserves number 1. But you have 2 games that deserve the number 2. You still want to mention the number 3, but yeah.
It's all right, Ben. I cheated with my TV category. You should be able to cheat with your video game category.
Okay. My second favorite is 2 games: Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brothers.
Okay. Very similar.
Oh, that's the same
Not very
game.
similar. Very same game. Both of them make you hate your
Kidding.
friends.
I'm kidding.
No, I love I love the Wii U. I love playing on my Wii U.
It's a lot of fun for sure.
It is, and they just came out with the first DLC pack, the one where you can race as Link, and you get the Master Bike, which is pretty much an Epona / Master Sword style motorcycle.
That's awesome.
And then you get to race through Hyrule in one of the new courses. And what's great is instead of coins in that new course, you get the rupees.
It's rupees.
And then any time that you hit one of the boxes that gives you an item, instead of it doing the normal Mario Kart sound, it does the which I thought all of those things were just a really nice touch, and the game is fun to play. It's awesome when you have friends, family over to sit down and play the game, and it's just overall a fun game to play. But I love Super Smash Brothers, and this Super Smash Brothers is just phenomenal.
Really good.
I love that you can unlock some of the maps or some of the levels from the N64 game, which is fantastic. I unlocked all the characters a couple days ago, which was wonderful. I now have all the characters. And it's just another one that's a lot of fun to play, especially when you have a bunch of people over. And freaking 8-player couch co-op.
Yeah. If you can get 8 controllers, yeah.
Well, yeah, but...
And 7 friends to
That's impossible.
hang out with you.
7 friends.
Most I got 6 people at once, one time, which even that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we now have the Wii U controller. We have 3 Pro controllers and a Wiimote and nunchuck. Which, just so you know, if you're gonna play on the Wiimote, don't use the nunchuck. Just play on the Wiimote. It's a lot easier.
See, I know most people who would disagree with that.
I found it a lot easier to play with
I
just the Wiimote.
I just refuse to play unless I have a GameCube controller. Not really.
Me too.
I tried really hard to get a GameCube controller.
Me too.
I got so lucky with mine. I went to Target and picked up Smash Brothers because with getting to the Wii U and all such, I saved a bunch of money on doing it. But they didn't have any of the Smash Brothers controllers or GameCube adapters. So I called up my local GameStop. I was like, "Hey, you guys have any of those?" They're like, "We're out of controllers, and I think we have one more GameCube controller adapter." I was like, "Great, can you hold on to it for me?" They're like, "Sure." I guess that was a weird request for them. So I went by and picked it up, and they had like a bunch, but they were all for pre-orders. I got the last one, and it wasn't until I got home that day that I found out how there were just not enough GameCube game controller adapters.
They're still really, really hard to get.
Yeah, if you get them, you'll find as soon as they are out, they'll sell out instantly, and you'll find them on eBay for like $80.
Yeah.
As compared to the retail $20.
I think even on like Amazon, the Amazon price, they're currently sold out. So if you want to go in and buy it from someone else, the cheapest one you can buy is $78.59. Yep. So for something that started out as what was it, $30? $29.99? $20. Yeah,
just 20.
And what's amazing is you can trade it into Amazon. So that's just amazing that it was $20. You can trade it into Amazon for $18.99.
Or sell it on Amazon for $80.
Right? No, I know.
There's someone trying to sell for $500, which I don't understand.
Sold. I'm buying that today.
Right?
When there are the options for the $78 ones, I'm going to go buy the $500 one because it must be better.
There's something special about it.
If any of them get sold, I'm going to see if I can pick up any just to resell. Like 4 times my money, that's insane.
Okay, so we've all said our number 2 favorite game at this point?
Yes.
Yes.
Kenny, what is your number 1 favorite game of 2014? Game of the year.
Game of the year for Kenny Haynes.
I think everyone knows what my game of the year is.
Mine would have to be
Grand Theft Auto?
Second Son?
Yes.
That's my game of the year as well. I loved that game, and the game that I predicted would be game of the year for us, or for me at least. Another game, just phenomenal storyline, phenomenal voice acting, fun game to play, and I mean it's one of the few games where I can actually go back and play it again for the like good karma, bad karma thing. Because not all games do I actually want to sit through and go through that, but Infamous has always been that one where I can go through and play it. Even First Light has been really fun.
I haven't played First Light yet.
But yeah, James, did you play Second Son?
I did not. I felt bad that I had not really played any of the other Infamous games. Like I gave one a shot, and while I liked it, I just never went back to it.
Kenny didn't
so
play the
like,
first
I
two.
like this one?
Nope.
Yeah. So this is just you can just jump
I'm kind
into
of happy that I didn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, like, no, I'm serious.
shopping.
Like, after, I mean, looking back and seeing the graphics of the first two and kind of the storyline, I don't think I would have liked it as much as I like it starting out with Second Son.
I personally like the character of Cole better than Delson, but I thought the powers were awesome. I thought being in Portland,
Yep.
Seattle.
Seattle.
Seattle was awesome. Just great game. Great game. Awesome. James, number one. Go.
My game of the year, I would be surprised actually if you two heard much about it. It's for the PC. It's called Divinity Original Sin.
Oh, I've played it.
You have?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. This is like a phenomenal homage back to the classic top-down RPGs like Baldur's Gate, and games like that where you're... Or like Dragon Age is based on the similar mechanics, the original Dragon Age.
I don't think so.
What?
I'm joking.
I know you are. Shut up. This game is huge. Like, it'll take you probably around average of like 80 hours to get through all the content in the game. If you want to just beat the game, you can probably do it in like 60. But what's fun about it is it's designed to be a co-op game. It's like base is like so you and one other friend will jump in as your characters and you'll cycle through your turns, which can be a lot of fun when you're making like dialogue decisions. It's like, well, I want to say this. I want to go kill this guy. It's like, well, no, I think we should leave him be. He didn't do anything that wrong. We should go fight this other guy instead, who's causing more trouble. And you can get into interesting dynamic situations like that, which is it really feels like you are adventuring with this person and having to deal with all these struggles, and like it gives a fresh perspective
jerk,
on
why'd
the
he
moral
say
dilemma.
that? Jeez, we could have used that him, but now he pissed him off.
Sure, yeah. And there are mods that you can get 4-person co-op in the game as well. So there's just so much stuff to do. That moment's just really funny. Kind of like how Elder Scrolls can have those really bizarre, random, funny moments, but still be a grand, epic tale and game at the same time. So, I mean, I haven't gotten super far into it, but what I have gotten into, I'm just like, I accidentally stumbled on the main plot line, and like that I'm this, legendary hero that's been lost or whatever, or we don't understand why you can do the magical things you can do, but that's awesome. And there's just like, as I was going through, I was like, this game is awesome, I can't wait to play it. But then the buddy and I who were co-oping, just like our schedules never matched up, so we never got to play too much. So I might just start it with somebody else or just start my own again. But oh god, what a good game that was. Haven't beaten it yet.
R.I.P. the game of the year for James.
Yep.
It is no longer.
Goodbye. Well, guys, we've been going on for an hour and 15 minutes.
It's been a long time since we've had such a long episode.
Yeah, it has been. Awesome. I thought it was awesome that we all had the same favorite movie. Two of us having the same favorite game was cool. And the TV shows, we were all over the place. So,
which is good. We got a lot to
Ben,
talk about.
At the end of the day, everything that we mentioned was awesome.
It was.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Did you know that everything is cool when you're part of a team?
Everything's cool.
Yeah, it's true. All right, guys, it's been another ridiculous night. You can find us all on Twitter. You can follow the podcast at RidiculousRT. You can follow James at Sir underscore Capelli, that's SER underscore CAPELLI, and the only one that I have to spell to our audience. Kenny can be found at Kenneth Scott H, and you can always find me at Ben Riddick. Remember, this show airs every other Sunday, usually at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. And you can watch us at www.nkrn.org/podcast live. Guys, it's been another ridiculous night, and remember, you can't spell ridiculous without
Riddick.